Sickos Club.
Sickos Club.
Yeah. Hey, come here. You like pro wrestling? We got a little something for you. Two fans, 3,000 miles away. We each been watching for more than 30 years. Celebrating the art form, the action, the homoeroticism. We ain't rating matches. We ain't analyzing stories. We ain't experts. We just sit down, shut up, and mark out! Hello, everybody. This is Blade Goddamn Daily once again. Joining you for another episode of Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out!
And fresh from a timeout, I am joined by the ever boastful Books and Bodyslams. Books, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. I promise not to be too insufferable today.
Well, you straight up promised me last night that you would be insufferable.
Oh, so now I can be insufferable. Okay.
Well, I mean,
insufferable.
now it's false advertising because that was the title of the live stream.
Okay.
As I said, Books will be insufferable.
So I'll be a nice, healthy mix of insufferable and not too annoying.
Yeah. Just try not to peak your microphone too much, out of excitement. And
I've already scared the dog enough, so
yeah, we'll take it from there.
I've got my screams out.
We'll take it from there. Folks, do you remember the Sickies, the awards that the Sickos Club was putting together? No? Well, let me remind you, we had them on social media. We asked you to vote for them. You did. We have winners figured out, and we are filming our very special presentation of the Sickies as I say this, okay? Probably not because I'm producing it, but after this, no, I'm actually producing this podcast after this, but after I produce this podcast and you're listening to it and it's not live, I'll be working on the Sickies.
I still have an issue with the Sickies.
Yes, and we will address it at the Sickies, Books.
Fine.
Is it related to Kenny Omega?
Yes.
Okay, yes, we will address it then. I'm just asking you to address it then. Okay. Right.
Okay.
All right.
I'll make it a part of my thing.
Yep. A part of your thing. Yes. So make sure, if you're not already, that you subscribe to us here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the Sickos Club channel because that's where the award ceremony is going to air. Make sure you subscribe to Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out YouTube channel because we're trying to grow this place. Again, I want to do a bunch of bonus streams. I want to make our presence here bigger. And, do more stuff here because it's a lot of fun. I am working on more shorts that are created specifically to be shorts and other bonus content for everyone. Like I said, let me know what kind of bonus content do you guys want from Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out. So, Books, I told you to let me cue you up and you've done a great job so far. So, it was a very Kenny Omega-centric episode of Dynamite for once.
Yes, it was.
And as a result, this is going to be a very Kenny-centric episode of Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out. Books, let me ask you a question, and I know you know the answer to this. Who's my favorite wrestler?
Kenny.
It's Kenny Omega, yeah. And
despite your allegiance to the
Kenny just made a mistake with Don.
Dictator.
He just disrespected Don. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Like, Kenny obviously was in the wrong. He refused to apologize, so Don had to take action into his own hands. And now he's taking action into his own hands with everybody who's come after him because Don learned a valuable lesson from Kenny. Can't let them get too far ahead of themselves. You know what I mean? They start saying stuff like, I don't need you anymore. So you stab them with a screwdriver. It's very simple. It's just capitalism. It was a very Kenny-centric episode, and we'll get to that. But we're also going to be talking about the already packed Dynasty card. Tekla signing an extension before the first year of her 2-year deal even elapsed. Mina Shirakawa stepping up and grabbing her opportunity to become a main eventer. And Proto Sheeta being totally fine. Totally fine. There's definitely nothing wrong with Proto Sheeta. But Books, you've been waiting for your opportunity so patiently to unrelentingly gloat. So let's get right to it. Let me cue this up for you. AEW bounced back huge from a little less, I would say it was a little less than stellar Dynamite in Fresno last week. It was wild to see so many people ragging on the audience when the same crowd with less people was actually very loud during Collision. So obviously they were probably overly gated during the live show.
So I actually got an answer on that.
Yeah.
our friend was there.
Yes.
And she said they had to mute the crowd because of fans right under the hard cam that were being obnoxious.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. And at the end of the day, they were loud for Collision. So, I mean, I don't think it was really the crowd. I think this Dynamite as well just wasn't stellar last week. It was like a recovery episode, and everybody who didn't get injured at Revolution wrestled on the show. I do think that's mostly what it was.
And that's okay for a post pay-per-view.
Yes. And it is okay. It's okay that they didn't have the greatest fucking Dynamite in the history of Dynamites like they do every other week. So that was corrected this week, though, because this Dynamite was fucking all gas, no brakes. I didn't have a very good day yesterday for a number of different reasons, and wasn't even as excited as I would normally be, knowing that I'm going to see Kenny versus Swerve, and it's going to kick off the goddamn show. I was just kind of ho-hum, and then it started, and I was like, wait, what the fuck was I thinking? This is awesome. So like I said, last week, not as meaningful. It had just a couple significant moments, and one of them was during the overrun at the end with the Bucks and Cage and Christian and FTR. And Mina killing Tony. I mean, Tony Storm being attacked.
It may not be Mina. It may be a certain dentist. Okay,
It'd be a great way to bring her back. That would be like ideal. Well, TK was like, fuck all that, fam. And he put together one hell of a show this week. And we kicked off with Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland with limited commercial interruptions. And, obviously it's a great match. Played off a lot of the stuff they did in their first match, which is how you have an all-time series between people is, you call back to the moments from the first match and the outcome's slightly different. Once again, Swerve grabbed Aubrey, but she was like more resistant to him, but he still managed to get a dick kick in on Kennedy. Lots of little good callbacks like that. No Aubrey taking a fucking V-trigger in this match. But I love those in-ring storytelling flourishes. Kenny's so good at it. Swerve's so good at that. Mm-hmm. And shockingly, just like a super clean finish. Like, Kenny just beat him. He beat him.
Oh.
He hit him with the one-winged angel.
He one-winged angel to his butt.
The end. That was it. That was a match. Kenny wins. Did you notice Kenny's gear by chance?
Yes.
Do you think that was Dobby tribute gear?
It was 100% Dobby because the front was Dobby's collar.
Yes. Okay. And he had a little cat paw on his butt.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I turned it on, I was like, what's Kenny doing right now with the tights? And then,
that's how you knew he was going to win.
Kayfabe K was like, I think he's wearing Dobby tribute gear. She texted me like, I think that's Dobby tribute gear. And then she sent me a picture of Dobby, and I was like, yes, that is Dobby tribute gear. That is absolutely Dobby tribute gear.
When you wear your animal on your gear, it's a surefire win. Because it's animals.
So before you get into your gloating, let's read a few comments, okay? Books has to match Kenny and walk the line of being a babyface, but somewhat insufferable at the same time. It is a superpower of Kenny's. I think that's true. Blurry Line, what's this? Blade wants to be a big time influencer. It's his life's dream. Yeah.
Don't we all?
It is. Like I want to sell lifestyle brands and stuff like that. Blurry Line adding, Kenny had his nips out 3 different times in this episode. Very Kenny.
Oh, it was great.
It was a very nipply Kenny show.
The harem was very happy.
The harem, yes. And the Church of Omega, I assume. Antoine, yes. Hey, Antoine, all hail Don Callis. Representing balds. Now, look, we live in a very negative world just in general. And AEW is a refuge for so many. But if you happen to be a bald person watching AEW, you don't even get that, okay? They're like always chanting bald at people. Like, do bald people not know they're bald? So I stand with the balds. People think I wear these hats because I'm bald, but I'm not bald. See, here's my hair. It just doesn't look very good. And I don't like to have to fuck with it before the show. So I wear a hat. So I'm definitely not bald, but I'm not prejudiced against balds like the rest of you. What's wrong with you?
I'm not prejudiced. I'm just prejudiced against Don Callis.
Which is honestly kind of fair. It's kind of fair. The Don Callis family, it's fine. Nothing to see here at all. Everything is fine, right? LOL, not LOL, Cowdog Games. Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Popper said I saw Kenny swear, but had to sleep. Well, you saw the best part of the show for sure.
You saw the God level match.
So, Books, the time has come. Go ahead.
Yes.
What do you have to say?
Listen. Everyone was like, Swerve should win. It'd be funny to see Swerve with the EVP powers. And I'm all like, but Kenny doesn't abuse his EVP powers, right? Like, Kenny is the best example of an EVP we have in this company.
Yes. True.
And everyone was like, Swerve. I'm like, Kenny. Guess who was right?
I had said last week on the show, and you weren't on the show. I didn't know if you saw the show. You must have, because you were clearly aware of some comments I made, which was that basically Swerve with the EVP titles, he would abuse it and do stuff with it. And Kenny never does anything with the EVP. Right. Yeah. However, I think there's I'd like for the EVP thing to stop being on the table at all.
And I'm kind of hoping this is the end of it.
Yeah.
And I think that was more my issue with this match going into it was I am so sick of these weird stipulation matches. It was enough with the number one contender, but I also can see Swerve goading him with the EVP thing as a way to push Kenny a little bit over the edge, which is what happened.
Well, and I think that there is... The EVP thing could easily become the Raw general manager bullshit that everybody's sick of, that they've been doing now for 25 years. And I don't want there to be an authority figure in AEW that gets involved all the time. You know, they kind of towed that line with Christopher Daniels at one point. The Jacksons last year were the insufferable EVPs. And that was all you needed to do with it. They did make mention after the match. And I was really shocked at how clean this match ended. It was just... Yeah, he hit the fucking V trigger, and then he hit the fucking one-winged angel, and it's over. This bitch is over. Like, I thought Nana was going to jump up on the apron or something, but no. And, you know, obviously putting the EVP thing on the line put the doubt in the outcome a little bit. So I didn't say, yes, Swerve has to win. Okay. I said it would make sense if Swerve won, in the sense that he'd be the EVP, but the more natural matchup would be MJF versus Kenny, because it's babyface and heel, right? But we all know...
And not heel versus heel.
Yeah, and we all know Anthony Khan doesn't give a fuck and would gladly book Swerve versus MJF. He doesn't give a fuck, right? This guy drinks our Logic tears for breakfast, okay? That's what he douses his cereal in every time he eats breakfast, okay? Is our tears of trying to fantasy book. Okay. So I knew that wasn't going to keep him from doing that. But in the end, Kenny wins, which I think is absolutely the right decision.
And clean. And I think, so also my theory is that this is also going to lead to Swerve, all the hints about the embassy finally coming into like flourishing. Because this might push him over the edge. This is going to inspire Swerve to really hone in and get a crew behind him and just start causing trouble. Because I do agree. I think my whole theory is that Swerve wins after Ospreay, and then that leaves about a whole year of the world title switching between people for a good amount of time. Have Swerve be the champion for a while. And then you can bring back Hangman into the picture and maybe run that back. Because it was a handshake deal, people. It was a handshake deal.
Astro Nima says, I liked Mina versus Tekla the most. That was a great match. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. Really, really good match. I love this side of Mina that we're seeing right now. Bleary Line 7 says, I really didn't want to see Swerve win. If I'm honest, we just had the whole Succession Young Bucks not too long ago being heel EVPs. Like, I think we can push the heel authority thing down the road. Really, I think we can just not do it anymore, you know, at least for a good while. And it shouldn't involve any of these people, in my opinion. Like, I don't see what the point of that is. You know?
Well, it's going to be interesting because obviously Kenny and the Young Bucks are going to be EVPs until they actually physically retire in life, not from in-ring competition. Right. I think they're still very much going to be a part of the company, whether it's just more backstage and not so frequently on the road. It's going to be interesting what happens when they are retired from in-ring and no longer like EVPs on screen, which they don't really do other than the Young Bucks at that whole.
Yeah, that whole totally. Thing. Totally. Nuclear Wessels X saying a lie in the chat that AEW needs a Jack Tunney. That is a lie. We do not need a Jack Tunney. So you're saying we need an ineffective goof as the president of AEW? Is that what you're saying? Nuclear Wessels X? No, we do not. Cowdog Game says, I was saying that it did not make sense because what the hell was the Young Bucks match it all in for then?
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, Will Ospreay said he was too dumb to be an EVP and that nobody wanted that, and Swerve agreed. So I just
think it was a way for him to keep taking stuff from the Elite because he obviously has an issue with the entire Elite.
Yeah. Well, so we get this showdown in the ring between these parties. They have a gladiatorial combat, and Kenneth Jerome Omega emerges supreme.
Can I ask a side question? Does anyone else have a desire to just experience the one-winged angel, or is it just me?
You mean you want to take a one-winged angel?
I want to take a one-winged angel.
I don't.
I do. Now, Kenny looks like he protects you so nicely as you're going down.
So you want Kenny to gently put you down in the one-winged angel.
I want to experience a one-winged angel from Kenny. But
not just anyone. It has to be from Kenny.
It has to be from Kenny.
Got it.
Because I think he's the only one who can do it correctly. Clearly. Because whenever anyone else tries it, people kick out. When Kenny does it, only one person's kicked out. But does no one else want to try this? I think it looks so it looks like not only is it just a protective finish, it looks like he protects you while it happens. I don't know.
There is a lot going on in the chat right now, and it is
I would
all
like to pin Kenny too.
Yeah, it's all fairly accurate. Too Fat to Cook says I'm too chunky to take a one-winged angel. Hey, don't ever give up on your dreams. You know what I mean? I feel a little chunky to be taking a one-winged angel myself, but I'm not writing it off. Too Fat to Cook. You got a big future ahead of you, pal. Don't write yourself off. It can happen if you believe. Big Damo's been doing that move for years, and you don't want it from him? Big Harry, Big Damo? No?
No. One person only.
Just Kenneth Jerome Omega. Bonaparte.
Just Kenneth.
Giovannis the third. Yep. Astro Demon wants to be the god of pro wrestling. That's fair.
Don't we all? Yeah.
Speaking of the god of pro wrestling, Kenny got 3 different segments, and 2 of them were so big, that's all we have time to talk about because we would literally not have time to talk about anything else. So after Kenneth's, not super surprising win, but somewhat surprising, later in the show, MJF comes out. He wasn't on the show last week. He comes out and cuts.
He was actually in Disney.
He was in Disney World. Yes. In California, he said he wanted to go to Disney World. Very nice. He comes out and cuts the insufferably heelish, hateful promo about Hangman that we all knew was coming. I think it was really smart to wait a week, to be honest with you. I think people have kind of come down from the anxiety of Hangman losing. I did see that someone put up a side-by-side photo of MJF's outfit, this particular attire, the blue, next to one of Elvis's mid-70s outfit, with the cape and everything. It lined up perfectly. Okay. So I'm not sure if it was intentional on MJF's part, but chef's kiss to whoever designed this clothing because it looks exactly like Elvis's attire. I thought that was awesome. And I got to say, MJF is just back in his sweet spot. This guy is killing his promos again. He seems like he is having a blast. And I would say his act is just a lot better. It's not, relying on the cheap, misogynistic, quasi almost racist tropes that it had in the past. I think that's a huge improvement in and of itself. And I think that he's matured a lot as a performer, and it's really coming through. And so, he tells the crowd, Hangman can never, he just says it like 750 times. Which to me only makes it seem like Hangman somehow is going to be able to challenge for the belt again, by him being so out loud about it. And he basically says, he's better than you, and you know it, and you know what? He's going to double down on his catchphrase, and no one is on the level of the devil. Then Devil Cry hits the fucking thing, the sound system, the screens. No one's on the level of the devil. Devil Cry. Unbelievable. Battle Cry. Damn it. Battle Cry. Hits.
Well, it is under a devil's sky. So
it's under a devil's sky. Get out. God damn it. The problem with being live is like, you can't just edit out a mistake and just like pretend it never happened because everybody saw you do it. Kenny comes out. I think we all know why he's coming out, right? They have a very interesting exchange that I think Kenny's a very interesting opponent for Max because he's not a conventional promo. Okay. And it started a bit of a minor uproar online. And I would say minor. I didn't see a lot of people, getting into a big thing about it. And there were a few podcasts also that I saw advertising this conversation, but I did not take their bait because I wanted it for my bait. Okay. The question is Kenny Omega a good promo?
I actually have discussed this at length yesterday on the Books and Beck show. I think
I didn't see their questions, so we're just asking the same questions by chance.
It was the harem together, so obviously Kenny was a huge part of our conversation last night. Kenny in this persona, kind of being a little like grayish, right? Is when he stands out as in promo. When he was doing that authentic stuff last year, it's almost too authentic. So it's just like Kenny being his nerdy. It's like actually Tyson out there and not Kenny. Whereas Kenny is this like larger than life. I'm the god of pro wrestling. I'm the best bout machine. So when he's playing this like authentic version of himself, it doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, he was like very white meat baby face, all of last year and going into this year. Yeah.
Yeah. So when he is in this persona, in this version of the cleaner, the Kenny Omega, whatever you want to call him, that's when on promos, he's actually good.
Now, I know people think that getting old is terrible and nobody should ever do it. And that getting old means that everything will get worse. And I'm here to tell you that is absolutely correct. That is true.
No.
However, it has given me one thing, which is the benefit of seeing decades of this shit roll past. Okay. So I remember in the 90s, people would tell you Bret Hart was unquestionably the best wrestler, but he wasn't a very good promo. Now, when you go back and you watch Bret Hart's promos and then you watch who they said was the best at the time, Bret's hold up way better. And it's because while everybody else is like, you think Bret just talked like like a human being. He was like much more realism based. He was way ahead of his time in a lot of ways. And his promos have only actually aged better, in my opinion. And so, in my opinion, yes, Kenny is a good promo. He's not a sing-songy, catchphrase-filled guy. He has a different cadence to his promos that is actually it's just less over the top. And it's kind of uncle-ish because he has a vocabulary that's kind of old-worldy. But he reminds me of
the Canadian side of him.
Yes. It reminds me, though, of Bret. And, like I said, Bret's promos 30 years later are some of the most listenable you'll hear from that era. I would say Stone Cold's hold up really well. The Rock's do not. There's a lot of people from that time that their promos are either laughably bad or totally inappropriate. But I think Kenny will be more like Bret, where in 30 years, people will be like, yeah, he just very clearly stated what a real person would say. Now, I will give you, Kenny did trip up over did these These people called me a god, because he then called himself a god and then said he doesn't call himself a god. He did get a little tripped up on that one. I think he got a little lost. A little lost in the sauce.
It's just a man dealing with the fact that he's a god. Mm-hmm. And he's now accepting that he is a god. And it's very hard to go from, I'm not a god, I'm just this little cleaner dude. And now I'm Sephiroth. I'm the one-wing angel. I am a god. Of course he's going to trip up over it. Because he's coming to terms with being a god. He's really embraced I'm the god of pro wrestling.
He really has. He really has. Like, it's pretty crazy. And there was a subtle excuse making that he made. My body was starting to tell me I shouldn't be wrestling, but I came back for the fans, and that was a mistake. He's saying, you didn't beat me at like 80%. You beat me at like 50%. That was a really good match when MJF beat him in 2023. That was a really good match.
Again, Kenny at 50, Kenny at 40, Kenny at 30% is still a better wrestler than 90% of wrestlers. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think Kenny is more likely to win against MJF right now. Because this is I don't want to say 100% Kenny, but this is a Kenny that we have not seen in a long time in the ring.
Yeah.
Who's not in pain. And he's going on a God of Pro Wrestling run right now. And that's how he's going to end his career.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Who cares that he got tripped up for a minute? Let him cook. He will make you something delicious. Let me remind everybody that one of AEW's best periods that for a long time, people drove me crazy talking about. The people who said AEW will never be as good as 2021. That went on until basically last year for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Who was the world champion in 2021 for the majority of the year? It was Kenny.
Kenny Omega.
And he was a fantastic character, and his promos were fucking awesome. He was a fucking dork posing so hard as a badass, and he was fantastic at it.
It's kind of also why when Hangman lost and we heard he was taking time, I was like, oh, they're definitely going to push Kenny right now. Because this allows Kenny to have another level run like that without people going, but what about Hangman? What about Hangman? And I say this as a Hangman fan. Like, it's going to allow Kenny to have this run without the shadow of Hangman right now.
Yeah. Antoine says The Rock's promos from the Nation of Domination absolutely hold up for me. I agree, and there's a reason. There's more focus in those promos, I think. He wasn't just given 20 minutes. They just said, go do it. You and Gewurz write something and he's coming up with all this crazy shit that's kind of homophobic and gross constantly, every single promo. Those later promos just don't hold up very well, unfortunately. Yeah, 69 me, Don. Yes. When Kenny and Don. Ew. Oh my God. That shit was so funny. Did you ever see that promo, Books?
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of Don then either.
Kenny was such a fucking menace in 2021. I mean, it's still one of the best AEW title reigns. And I think he only defended the belt like 5 times because he was so badly injured. So I do think Kenny's a good promo, but I think he's not going to give you everything in one promo. He's more of a subtlety, leaking a story out through several weeks of action. Mm-hmm. And Kenny's definitely a guy who builds on stuff to tell stories. And I like that about him. I think it makes him unique. Kenny does eventually say, like, kind of turns MJF's phrases against him. He says, I know I'm better than you. They know I'm better than you. But most importantly, I'm better than you. And MJF accepts. So we are getting the cleaner versus MJF at Dynasty. And I will be there live in the building. We might see a world heavyweight title change.
I can't wait to see this entrance though, because it's not really a hometown show, but it's
on the complete other side of the country, but yeah.
It's a home country. I think he's gonna go all out.
Oh yeah.
Because it's gonna be his first main event in a pay-per-view in a long time, I feel like.
Probably since Hangman, since he dropped the title to Hangman.
Yeah.
Because he immediately had surgery after that. Mm-hmm. So
then they had surgery again.
Yeah. Bleary Line 7 says Kenny's not trying to copy anyone else's promo style, which is always going to age better. And he's not trying to play off of any current trends. so his stuff can't get dated. Exactly. He talks kind of like just your next door neighbor. And that may be a turnoff to some people, but to me, it comes across very authentic, whether he's a heel or whether he's a
see, and I don't like when he's being super babyface. So
I don't want him to, he leaned into it really hard when he came back. It's the hardest I've ever seen him lean into it.
And I don't like that.
You're like, I like a bad, you be a bad cleaner.
I want him to be gray, like morally ambiguous.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. So, with that, Books, we're going to hit the music when we come back. Dynasties are already like a big deal.
Yeah.
Books Dynasty has only had 3 matches announced, but they are all pretty huge matches.
Pretty huge.
Yeah. AEW's like all gas, no brakes right now. Like we have MJF versus Kenneth Jerome, and that's the devil versus the god, which I love that branding. That's amazing.
Can you just imagine oh my God.
I can't believe I hadn't thought of that. Like they said it. And
I kind of said that the other night and I didn't think about it again. I was like, oh, it's the devil versus the god of pro wrestling. Like they're going to have fun with that marketing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because he's the one-wing angel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean, this is crazy. We got some really heavy Ricky Starks hatred going on in the chat right now, and deservedly so. Ricky, I'm sorry.
My people.
Yeah. You're just
nice people.
You ain't him, Ricky. Just ain't him. So we have Kenny versus MJF. We have Cope and Christian, or Cage and Cope, as the shirt says, versus FTR for the tag titles. I think that match is going to It's going to be amazing.
That's going to be amazing.
I do believe Cage and Cope will win that match. I think so too. I think the most likely title change in the entire card so far. There's 3 matches announced.
Yeah.
But of them,
I also have the all-in match planned out.
Oh. And then, as was also announced via a very good promo from Will Ospreay, Moxley and Ospreay are going one-on-one. I'm like, God damn, that's like 3 main events right there.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, I didn't hear if it was a title match, but your notes answered that question.
Moxley's promo kind of made it clear that it's not a title match because Ospreay's only had 1 match since he came back and he hasn't beaten Moxley in a. So this tells me that even more that Ospreay is like being cleared for the world title, not for the Continental title, which I think is absolutely the right thing to do. Who cares about the Continental title right now? Like, keep it on Mox. I don't care. I mean, I literally don't care who holds it. Like, just whatever. Like, keep Will pointed at the men's world heavyweight title. And that's just the 3 matches they've announced. That is insane. And next week on Dynamite, we're getting Pac versus Will Ospreay.
That is going to be insane.
I think Pac is one of those guys, if you see him week to week regularly, which we don't normally, like, there might be like a 2 or 3 week period where he's on every Dynamite. And you remember how fucking great he is. And then there's like a month where he's not even on the show. Right. And Pac is Kenny Omega himself said Pac is like the most perfect execution of every single move that he's ever wrestled. Like nobody is crisper than Pac and more technically proficient at how he does everything than Pac. I actually saw Kenny wrestle Pac at All Out, the very first one. And Pac beat Kenny. The first 2 times I saw Kenny Omega, he lost. It was kind of a bummer.
Well, it must have been nice to see Kenny more than once because I only saw him once. I mean, mind you, it was Grand Slam versus Danielson. So, like, I might win the forever.
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I saw him lose twice. I saw him lose to Jericho. I saw him lose to Pac. I saw him lose in
It was a draw. It's not like he won.
Yeah, but it was at the very first Grand Slam, and you guys were like rabid dogs fucking cheering. And Danielson's first match in AEW. I mean, come on.
Actually, no, as the one person cheering for Omega in my section, I was heavily criticized.
Really? Well, that's stupid.
Because they all wanted Danielson to win.
So yeah, I honestly, I don't know what else they're going to stack onto this, but I can't wait to see it because it's going to be so good. I'm
assuming we'll get the dogs.
Yes, against hopefully not the conglomeration, because the conglomeration is currently 2 people.
I'm hoping it's actually versus the rest of the death. Who has the trios right now? Is it?
It's Mysticock.
Never mind.
Mysticock.
Don't want Mysticock to lose.
No.
But I also want the trios on the dogs.
It's not time yet. It's not time
yet.
Patience, Books. Patience.
I don't have patience.
Mysticock has to have a little time in the sun. You know what I mean? You got to let your cock out, let it breathe.
Well, especially because with Mystico signing.
Yes, I think the Mystico thing, you got to let that really solidify. So, yeah, AEW isn't getting bogged down in any bullshit. Everything feels intensely personal. You know, you got MJF and Kenny, you got obviously Cage and Cope versus FTR is going to be, you know, that they've made it very clear why they hate each other. I thought Cope's promo on Cash Wheeler was really good this week.
Did he passport name? He said Dan, right?
He called him Dan.
Am I the only one who heard that? I was like, he passport named Cash.
Yeah, because his real name is Dan Wheeler.
Dan.
And
yeah,
Dax is John Harwood. That's his real name. So like it's pretty crazy. They teased Moxley and Ospreay in New Japan several times before. I think it was before they found out that Ospreay had signed with Tony. And once that happened, I think Tony was like, please don't do that match. I want to do that match in AEW. Because I remember at Wrestle Kingdom, they had a triple threat and David Finlay won by pinning Ospreay. And so, you know, I think that was Will trying to make Finlay bigger before he left.
Yeah.
But, you know, speaking of people from Japan who've come to AEW, there's a 5-foot spider walking amongst us. Okay. A 5-foot spider. And her name is Tekla, and she's fucking rad. And it came out.
No, she's toxic.
She's toxic. She's toxic, which is like saying.
Let's use the right words.
It's how the kids say rad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
the new fangled term for
radical,
rad.
Dope. Sigma. Is that? Why are they saying Sigma?
You are now asked. I have no idea.
What's going on? What's happening in the world? I said rad. That's where I started. I mean, this is like 1988. Tubular. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what the chat's saying here. Bleary Line 7. Surely at some point we're getting Jay White. Like, goddamn, how broken can he be? Ospreay had his head reattached in this time. Yes. However, if he did have surgery on his shoulder, that can take a really long time. Shoulders heal slow.
You know what? Jay White better stop fucking teasing us because I'm pissed off. That's all I'm going to say. Jay White's on my shit list officially.
There's a method to it, which is like, by the time he does it next time, you're going to be like, you know what? You fucked with me so many times. I'm not going to build my hopes up. Then he's going to show up.
Yeah. Well, fuck Jay White. You heard that first.
He'll show up in November sometime. Cowdog Games. Well, Pac does not get his recognition because all of his injuries in AEW and being the third best or most popular guy in the Death Triangle. Maybe third most popular, third best. I don't know. All those guys are really good. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But Tekla was announced as having signed a new multi-year deal, presumably for longer than the deal she currently had. When I first saw this, I was like, God damn it, Tony, did you sign her for like 7 months or something? Like, what the fuck? But no, she was signed for 2 years. And before even the first year had elapsed, Tony tied her up for as long as he possibly could. I assume it's probably like a 5-year deal. This is incredibly, incredibly good news for AEW.
What makes me happy too is that she is the first person to come and say like AEW was my dream. So it makes me very happy that she's getting this push and kind of getting her flowers in this way, because I think it's really a first for AEW, and
it's amazing.
That's me getting mushy at Tony Khan doing the right thing.
It absolutely. And you know what? Like, I love Stat. I love so many of the women in this division. So many of them. I can't wait till Aminata comes back. I can't wait. There's so many people who I think have so much potential. But when you look right now, Mercedes isn't there currently at this very moment. Tony's out for a long time. It's Tekla. She is the one. She's the one that can anchor this division as the top heel. And I think it's time for the Triangle of Madness to fully step up and really, really, really cause some chaos. And, you know, Tekla also embraces being a heel with all of her might. Like, she doesn't give a fuck. She cheats in every match. And I love it because that makes her more interesting, you know? Like, you don't need to book her strong. Just make her fucking cheating awesome asshole that everybody loves to boo, you know? I mean, she's just fantastic at it.
Play up the toxic.
So, yeah, it really says something about her that less than a full year into a 2-year deal, they gave her more money and more years. That's pretty wild. So I'm super, super glad that she's going to be around for a while. And speaking of Tekla, and speaking of one of our friends in the chat, Astronema21, said that the match with Mina Shirakawa was their favorite of the show. It's hard to argue, okay? Like, wrestling is subjective, all right? I mean, you give me Kenny and Swerve, I mean, that's pretty hard to top, but holy shit. So basically, Mina Shirakawa, in my opinion, she totally fucking did it to Tony. Like, I think it could be Sheeta, it could be Britt Baker, it could be a lot of people, right? I think it's Mina. And you know what? If it was, that would be the best thing for Mina. It'd be incredible.
My issue with it being Mina, it's very then similar to the Tony Mariah story. So my guess is Britt.
Okay.
Just because I think Britt is going to look at it as, I left. I was the top of the division, blah, blah, blah. Tony came in and took her thunder, and could kind of be why Britt disappeared for as long as she did. I just think it's a great way to bring back Britt.
Well, and Tony literally took the title away from Sheeta. So there's also potential there. And I think there was a kendo stick in the room. So
see, my thing with Sheeta is I think Sheeta is basically done.
She might be. I think she's really into the acting and streaming, and I think that's where she wants to be right now. Yeah.
Which breaks my heart, but
Blurry Line, very strong suggestion is Wendy Richter. I can totally see it. I was just watched WrestleMania 1 the other day, and Wendy Richter's buff. I'm assuming she looks exactly like she did in 1985, but it's, it was only like 41 years ago. She probably looks somewhat similar to that. Cowdog Games. Also, I loved hearing in the AEW interviews this week that the Triangle of Madness are saying that they want to step up and take over right now. Yeah. They're the strong heel faction that the division really has needed. And
have them beat Mysticock.
Remember, hell yeah. Remember when they were trying to get us to take the Outcast seriously?
Yeah, that's what the sisters have set up.
And they were literally doing the like loser thing. And that was supposed to be like good or like great heel work or something. I'm still grateful for the Outcast because I don't know that we ever would have gotten Timeless Tony Storm without them. So
we wouldn't have.
So, but Nuclear Wessel X definitely agrees. It's definitely Wendy Richter. Like I told you, 1985, she looked great. Like, I haven't seen her recently. It was only 41 years ago, though. So, Astronema, this is a very fair question. Why would Mina attack her husband? I don't believe it. She has called Tony her husband on many occasions. However, Tony's little dalliances with Orange Cassidy clearly seem to bother Mina.
It's true. Yeah. I didn't think of that. Mina just seems so obvious.
It does. I do feel like they're trying to get us to think it's Mina on a lot of levels. But what I will say is Mina clearly recognizes her opportunity right now to take. Yeah. No one person is going to fill the spot left by Tony Storm. Okay. That woman is a force of nature. Okay. Like, she does not occur naturally in nature. She is nature. Okay. So Toni Storm can't be replaced by one. Okay. I would say like Mina and Athena, like between the two of them, they could make up for Toni Storm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But my thought is Athena could definitely be one. Mina's the obvious pick, and her walking down with the flowers that were left right next to Toni kind of definitely suggests to me they want us to think it's Mina. Mm-hmm. But what I'm noticing is Mina's change in aggression and her composure. She's wrestling a lot more like she did in Stardom. She's, kind of like got a more batshit vibe to her, which I love. And she kicked the living shit out of Tekla. And thankfully for her, that's exactly the way the 5-foot spider likes it, because she punches the shit out of people. So they just beat the shit out of each other.
They had great chemistry together.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
It was like you could not turn, or like you could not take your eyes off of it. I also wish that match had limited commercial, because
yes,
it had just as much fire as Swerve and Kenny.
I also wish it went last. I mean, there was no, they didn't need to do Darby and Roosh last.
I'm going to be honest. I don't even think I paid attention.
It was fine. It was a good match. It was a really good match.
Ended it for me.
Yeah. But, I will say that Mina is definitely recognizing her opportunity here, which is to step into that void and to try and make a name for herself. And I think her being respectfully the sexy Asian lady that, comes out and she knows it, and everybody wants Mina, everyone wants Mina. There's only so much legs in that,
yeah.
And she's going to have to continue to evolve in order to keep the crowd with her. And she's done a lot of jobs. She's lost a lot. I want to see Mina get more wins. I didn't mind her losing here. Can we talk about the beautiful fucking finish? Okay. I was in an incredible group chat during this match, and somebody pointed out, so Tekla pulls brass knuckles out of her top and puts them on her knuckles, right? But they were silver. And somebody's like, man, this economy is so bad, brass knuckles aren't even brass anymore. And as Mina goes to do the backdrop, just a simple backdrop to her, Tekla punches her in the face, falls on top of her, pins her, and sneaks the knucks off herself, doesn't get caught, and she's the winner. This is what I mean. She's a heel. She cheats to win. Mm-hmm. She's not a heel because she's unlikable.
Perfect heel.
She's a perfect heel.
Like, this is what a heel should be.
Yeah. Yeah. And, there was somebody talking in this group chat earlier in the night about Kenny kicking out of everything and then Swerve just taking a pin on the first time he took a finisher. And I'm like, they're telling the story of a babyface and a heel. That's how it goes. Kenny's like the Superman of AEW. That's his, that's literally his gimmick. He's the god of pro wrestling. Kicks out of everything. He kicked out of everything in the first match until he got screwed over, and then he couldn't kick out anymore. Swerve just killed him. And that's what it takes to beat Kenny. But nobody kicks out of the one-winged angel. So
no one. There's only one person to do it, and that will ever be it.
When I was a kid, I remember thinking, so the minute you turn bad, you have to cheat to win. Like, that's the minute you turn bad, like, you no longer have the ability to kick out of the same shit you could have kicked out of before. You need to cheat at every turn. And trying to figure out how that made sense. And then, over time, you just learn not to question that too much. But like, Swerve could kick out of everything until he turned heel. And now he can't. So Blair Line 7 says, honestly, the sell of the brass knuckles was the second best sell of knucks I've ever seen. That finish is an exact finish I've seen Ricky Steamboat do twice, where he was the person giving the backdrop. And I saw Macho Man Randy Savage punch him and land on top of him at the Wrestling Classic and pin him. And I saw Tully Blanchard do the same thing to him. I believe it's Starrcade 84. So, going back a little ways, maybe. But, hey, we were talking about Wendy Richter already, So, like, I mean, this is the same distance. Obviously, the first is the Big Show falling on Regal way back in the day. Yes, when Regal does the power of the punch, knocks out Big Show while he's standing, and Big Show just falls on top of him and pins him. That was amazing. That's one of my favorite all-time finishes ever, just for any reason. Skewered Universe podcast says Tekla will never, ever be a face. No.
There are some people who are just natural and pure heels, and she is one of them.
Yes. Cowdog Games, tell me, how good ROH versus MLP show tonight? Unfortunately, I cannot watch it because I'm a poor person. Same. Newly poor. Pretty much in real life. LOL. Well, I mean, the Toxic Spider Tekla is a hero in interviews, so does that count? Yes, it does. And also, by the way, I saw some of Lee Moriarty and Tekla's art this week. How cool is that? What they're doing is really, really cool. Lee's art, like his use of texture and stuff, I really like. I'm an admirer of visual art. I'm not good at creating visual art myself, but incredible stuff. So we're going to hit the music. And then when we come back, what's going on with Proto Sheeta? They seem fine, but we'll see. And AEW seems like they're clearly doing some broadcasting for some very brand new viewers when we come back. Books. Proto Sheet is fine, right? Yeah, they're like fine. Like totally fine?
Yeah, they're fine.
Because like Takeshita just like happened to walk up to Kyle Fletcher, and Kyle Fletcher was just all like, hey, just want to say, I hope you're not too upset with me for forgiving Okada, because there's no way I would ever turn my back on you. And then Takeshita is like, I would never turn my back on you. They're fine, right?
Now, what if Fletcher is playing the little devil right now and is only pro Okada to betray Okada?
It's an interesting thing, except consider this. Outside of Kyle Fletcher, who are the top heels in AEW right now? It's Okada, MJF, and Swerve, right? And then it falls off a fucking cliff after that. I don't think they can have...
Yes, but you can have Takeshita and Kyle and have them be an angel and a devil.
But why would anybody be a devil if they both turn on Okada?
Because Okada's a bitch and deserves it.
Right, but then they're both angels. You see what I mean?
No, see, Fletcher will still be evil.
But he loves Takeshita.
Listen, this is me not wanting my couple to break up.
I think that
I'm just saying.
AEW's heated rivalry couple might break up.
They are. Actually, in Tony Khan, can we lean a little bit more into the heated rivalry thing? Like, women really like it, and like you're really getting like big with the women, so like let's keep leaning into these book tropes. So like do a whole heated rivalry storyline. Just saying.
Proto-Kata lost. Have Proto-Sheeta ever lost? Need I say more? Astronema? No, you needn't. But you're welcome to. You're welcome to. Nuclear Wessels X, Fletcher is the center of the DCF. I agree. Even more so than Okada, I think. I think Okada's really there to continue to shine up Kyle Fletcher, really. And Kyle Fletcher will turn against Okada at some point and become a massive baby face. And then have to reckon with everything he did to Will Ospreay and all this other shit. It's going to be wild.
He's going to end Swerve's reign of terror.
Maybe.
All right. MJF, Omega, Ospreay, Swerve, Fletcher.
Cowdog Game says the protostar Kyle Fletcher. I love both of you, but I'm sorry. And Kyle Fletcher walks out on both of them. So Fletcher's just like, I can't deal with your drama. You two can't be professionals. Fuck you.
Because I also think it'd be funny to see Okada come running back to the Bucks and Kenny and be like,
that's going to happen. We're family, right? I loved when Okada was like, remember when you guys said we were like family? You guys are so stupid. He's such a ruthless piece of shit. I love him.
I could just see Kenny sitting in the background going, don't believe it.
Yes. Bleary Light 7 Books is engaging in a shipdom classic tactic, one used for many decades in fandoms. Yes. It's called delusion. Yeah. Yes. I believe that's...
I was called deluded for a very long time when I was watching Dawson's Creek and everyone was like, Joey and Dawson are endgame. And I'm like, it's Joey and Pasty, motherfuckers. But I was right. So...
And now you can never back down because you were right that one time. And so now you think you're right about every time, exactly. Right?
I also did about Spike and Buffy, and in the comics, she ends with Spike. So, like, I have a streak.
You're a professional shipper, is what you're saying. You ship.
I am.
You ship more packages than FedEx, baby. Probably more accurately than FedEx, for Christ's sake. Those bastards never get anything to me on time. When it says the date on it, I'm like, so like 2 days after this date is when it'll get here. They're always late. So speaking of always late, what's right on time for AEW is all these new people checking out the shows. Okay.
Yes.
Like, we don't like to talk ratings. I happened to see something that on Sunday, the Sunday Collision, drew like almost 700,000 people. That's insane.
And just
insane. And on Saturday, the night you would think, they might actually have the better draw. They didn't even draw 500, but like 700,000 people. So what I noticed on this Dynamite is that AEW is definitely realizing they are talking to a lot of new fans. And so I noticed there was a lot more of like, this is who Darby Allin is. Look at this compilation of him crashing into shit. Like, this is the story. This is what just happened with MJF and Hangman. There was a lot of that. Now, this is a major complaint about WWE is they pad their shows with video packages, right? Here's why I don't have a problem with AEW doing it. Because they're not changing the storytelling or the wrestling to appeal to the mythical person they think they're trying to reach.
But there's also more than 45 minutes of wrestling.
And there's overruns every single week. Like every single week.
Every single week.
So Dynamite's practically a 2.5 hour show.
Yeah. They're doing a really good job at like embracing new fans without completely changing their product right now, which is the issue we had the last time 100%. This happened. They tried to cater too much for new fans. So I think they learned their lesson in, okay, like, people stuck around that last time too. So like, you're either going to like it or you're not. And this is what we are, but this is what our base of fans who have been with us since the beginning, why they like us.
I will give credit where I feel it's due. I am not a CM Punk fan, as people know, but just minorly not. The feud with MJF was very compelling television. Okay. However, the promotion changed way too much after he got there. And I think that was his influence on Tony. I think Tony was acting like a fucking little mark ass, bitch ass, dumb ass.
He was.
Just marking out for Phil in real time at all times. Like,
he created a show for Phil.
and they did try to change the product to appeal to what they thought the mythical wrestling viewer would want to watch, instead of doing what worked for AEW before Phil ever got there. And making Phil fit into...
He was a cancer.
Well, and it's really on Tony mostly, even more than Phil, is like...
Yeah.
Tony bent the entire promotion around Punk instead of making Punk fit into their scheme. You know what I mean?
See, but I also think it's Phil's ego that was so outrageous that Tony had no choice to appease.
Well, I mean, especially after all the hype that came with him signing Phil. And then, So... I see people on threads every single week now. Like, I'm checking out Dynamite for the first time. The arenas look full. They're smaller venues, but they look very full, very excited.
Full. Yeah, they're not having attendance
No,
issues.
they're having...
Or charging you $10,000 to sit on
They're having a damn good time. What the fuck, by the way? So I heard about this today, that you can pay $10,000 to sit on a bus with Cody Rhodes. Did the mom who stole all that money buy those tickets or what?
Oh, maybe.
The lady stole like $2.5 million and spent $350,000 on WWE shit.
Come to AEW where you don't have to steal money to pay for tickets.
Christ.
That literally could be their marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Actually, They should do that.
Nuclear Vessel X lying in the chat again. Best way to win new fans over is to bring out Jeff Jarrett again. Okay. But no, stop it.
However, I do have, we all saw who trademarked something new.
Yes.
And that's not a big sign that he's going to the other company, because that other company does not let you trademark anything.
Yeah, we were talking, myself and some people, we're talking about him trademarking the Cornerstone.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jericho realized, somebody tells him that's a really dated, like not cool sounding name. And then he ends up using Chat GPT, like, what do the kids say now? And then he trademarks the Aura Farmer, but he because he thinks it sounds cool, but then he just comes out in overalls with a pitchfork. And he's like, I'm the Aura Farmer, Chris Jericho.
Listen, this is going to piss people off, but I said this last night and I'll say it again. If it means I can hear Judas one more time in a stadium, I'm not going to complain. I just want it one more time. Mm-hmm. One more time.
Mm-hmm. Cowdog Game says, WWE fans have told me this before. What they like for the casuals is telling them what the story is week to week with video packages without trying to follow everything, including having to be online. And I think that's true. I think people don't want to feel like they have to. And I don't want AEW to change the way they tell stories, because I love it. And I'm an AEW total shill mark, little AEW bitch boy over here. But I'm saying, I want the storytelling to be intricate. And so if they feel that they can air a few video packages telling people what's going on, that's fine. I don't mind.
Kind of feels like they're airing what they would have put on social media anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I'm fine with it. Because AEW is known for making you work to know the story, which is paying attention to everything that they're doing. So it just feels like they're taking out a little bit of a step.
Yep. I agree with Bleary Line here. I can blame Phil for being a prick, but I much more blame Tony for enabling his ego. Punk doesn't have any power that Tony doesn't give to him willingly, because he's a big old punk mark. 100%. That was Tony's biggest mistake ever, was putting the belt on CM Punk and taking it off Hangman Page and truncating the story that they were going to tell with Hangman. Okay, that was the biggest mistake Tony ever made. I think he's learned. That doesn't mean he won't make other big mistakes, but I doubt he'll make that particular one again.
Well, he's going to always make mistakes, right? I mean, it's just a part of life, but he seems to have a better head on his shoulder.
He will never make another mistake again. He got one. He gets that one, and that's the only one.
Have you been hanging out on Blue Sky too much?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Blue Sky. I want to love you, baby, but you just ain't no fun.
You make it so hard.
No fun.
I actually did deactivate my account today.
Books, where can the people find you?
I'm now only on Threads and Instagram at Books and Bodyslams. Books and Bodyslams. You can also follow my twin brother. I don't know his username because he just made it. He was a loser weirdo who only just joined social media. Yeah, there's someone else had that name. The rudeness of someone stealing my brother's name.
So your brother really went into a lot of detail explaining to you what happened with his username, huh?
Yeah. Oh my God. He FaceTimed me.
Your brother, who is definitely not you, went into a lot.
My brother, who's definitely not me. A lot of effort. It's _Books Jackson.
_Books Jackson. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I swear it's not me in a filter.
A beard filter with a voice modulator. Definitely not.
With a voice modulator? Definitely not.
That's good to know. So make sure you follow Books online. Books will be back here. Books and I do this together a lot. I'm iBlade Daily, anywhere that usernames are to be had. If I'm on the platform, it's just iBlade Daily, all one thing. Make sure you follow Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out on Threads, on Blue Sky, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Most of all, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the little ding ding for notifications. And follow Sickos Club. It's just all one word, Sickos Club.
Also hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button on this video.
You didn't say that. Hit the like
button on this video. And leave us a comment. Tell us what you want to see from the bonus content I'm going to be making, because otherwise, you just get what you get. right? Beggars can't be choosers, and nobody's begging, but still, I'll be choosing because you didn't tell me anything. I gave you a chance. All right. So
you heard him. You heard him, folks.
Also, it's a big help if you listen to this show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever. If you go and you leave us a little review, give us a 5-star rating, it does boost us in there a little algorithm. You may have heard of that before. It's a brand new tech thing the kids are talking about, algorithm. But, it's just like groceries is an old-fashioned word, as Donald Trump would say. It's an old-fashioned word, groceries. Until next time, folks, I'm Blade Daly.
And I'm Books and Bodyslams, and not Book Jackson.
Pro wrestling forever. Yeah.
Sickos Club.